legendary mobile suits known as Gundam.
Yeah, there it is.
The Gundam universe, a new chapter in one of the greatest anime sagas of all time, Gundam Wing.
Oh man, how iconic is that sound? Man, welcome people. This is a special episode. I couldn't wait for this day. We are here, a Gundam Wing themed episode. And I'm here with CD and Austen. And as a Gundam Wing stan, I am Coop. It's Coop on Instagram. We are here. The moment has come. Today is the day, April 7th, in Gundam Wing, Operation METEOR. It's a full go. And we're going to talk everything Gundam and Gundam Wing on today's episode. Y'all ready for this? I've been waiting for this, man. I've been waiting for this.
You was born for this, Coop.
I was. This is, without Gundam Wing, I am not here. So here we are, Gundam Wing, the top of the top. I think it leads all categories when it comes to. I'm trying to not be biased. That was a biased statement. I did say lead. People, I am not going to stand here and be biased. I promise you. I want to take off the Gundam Wing cap. And keep my realistic cap on. I know it has pros and I know it has cons. I know it does. But overall, Gundam Wing sits at the top of the top for me.
Yeah, gotta love that objective fan wearing all the paraphernalia, got the wing on the side, all that. Yep, completely objective.
Nothing subjective over here. Gundam Wing came out early 2008 on Toonami. Was a staple in Toonami when it aired. Kind of the reason why people in the Western Hemisphere or America got into Gundam. It transcended everything when it comes to.
It's
I
like
don't want to say
though.
robots, right? Like,
yeah. Its impact on the industry and importance in the Western Hemisphere, it cannot be understated. It literally paved the way for the love of anime and mecha in the West, more than almost any other show could. I mean, there's been, inklings of show like Astro Boy, Super Robot Kaigatsu. There's even Godzilla and Mechagodzilla, Voltron. It's always peeked through, but Gundam Wing was with the advent of easy, cheap, and reliable cable television, the advent of programming blocks coming straight from Japan. It was the one that really brought it all over, and that made the West anime fans.
Absolutely. And it is about time, America, get on it. We got to get that Wing Gundam statue somewhere. If they have RX-78 in Japan, they have a unicorn, they have a seed statue, they have a kind of a fake, a new Gundam statue, right? Like, we need at least New York. Put it in New York.
New York or LA or Seattle, right?
We're close.
Because
I'll shit a frisbee.
Seattle's the closest to Japan. LA's on the western side, and New York is probably in America our most important city. Sorry, all you Dallas and DC fans, but New York is the most well known.
I would definitely put it
Gundam. Maybe like if it was Funimation's in Texas. I don't think I couldn't see a Gundam.
I can't see it in Texas. I would keep it out of Texas. No harm to Texas fans. You guys are great.
Keep it far away from Texas, man.
Yeah, no one will see it.
Yeah,
sorry.
But I definitely need a Wing Gundam statue here in America, quick, for what Gundam Wing did in America. Like everything you said, it was a perfect storm too, man. For 90s kids to watch Toonami. Toonami was a big thing, and for them to throw that into Toonami was crazy. Come to just like thinking about it. I mean, you had the regular promos. I wish we had, those promos were amazing. Probably the best Toonami promos were going to
In the year 0079,
yeah,
mankind has moved to the stars. But the colonies are
literally.
troubled.
Yeah, my man
hope
Optimus Prime, right?
Five young heroes and their legendary mobile suits known as Gundams.
There it is.
I remember hearing that as a kid.
Yeah.
Dog, I don't know if it got
Like-
better. And then they had each 5 of them had their own Duo Maxwell
Promo.
promo. Like, come on now,
Bro, the 2-minute long promo, and it's on YouTube. Somebody upscaled it to 4K. Is probably one of the most hyped things I've ever seen. The 2-minute long promos they did for Dragon Ball Z, for Mobile Suit Gundam Wing, and for I think it was Inuyasha or maybe Rodi Kenshin was. Oh my gosh, Rodi Kenshin was dope.
Yeah.
and you could tell how good how well Gundam was doing in America for Toonami to take Dragon Ball Z, which is a staple, what brought everybody in. It was like, okay, we're going to run a midnight
Acceptable
run.
anime.
Yeah, we're going to run a midnight run. Dragon Ball Z is clearly going to be in that midnight run because midnight run was
uncensored.
Uncensored.
And
then we need.
I'm sorry, it helped pave the way to Adult Swim.
Yeah, yeah, and it that's true too. Didn't even think of that, but it needed to have someone to keep up the ratings, right? We can't that second slot because they only ran I think it was an hour, 2 hours, 2 episodes of Dragon Ball Z, and they needed episode, a show, and for them to put Gundam Wing in there, which shows you how big it was, which is crazy. But let's get into it, man. Let's dive right into this Gundam Wing segment. Whew, get goosebumps, man. Let's go ahead. Y'all want to do pros or cons first? Pros or cons?
You
want to do pros or cons?
Okay.
Cons. Yeah. All right, pros. Remember, Austen,
we got to ride the high so we can experience the lows.
You right?
Yeah.
That low shouldn't be that low, right, Austen?
Oh,
right,
damn.
Austen.
So you got my resume.
Gundams, guys, Gundams. Gundams.
Never mind. Let's
All
do the cons then. Fine.
Right, pros. What are y'all pros of the show? What is y'all?
Gundams, and Gundams. That's like the earliest memory, like besides the promos. I say all the time, like me waking up Torrington base, Shinlong. Gundam wasn't my first exposure into anime, but it's definitely one of the few ones I can go back and like remember where I was at the exact moment, at the exact time, doing whenever 20 some odd years ago. I had never seen anything like that. Like Macross was cool, but like when you see a Gundam tearing through a Leo, you're like, oh shit! Like I went downstairs, and, like trying to put some Legos together, trying to like match something. Like it was something you had never seen. Yeah, something you had never felt. Like I had little Legos, like calling them like they were Leos or something. But like seeing that Gundam for the first time is ingrained in me, and that's what has without seeing those 5, like Coop was saying, like I don't know where I would be. I'd still be an anime guy, but I don't know where I would be as far. Yeah, I don't know where I would be in the hobby, if even in the hobby, if I never saw Gundam Wing.
I think with me with Gundam Wing, with that first episode, I could always recall like Hero laying in the sand, Relina finding him. That right there just gives me 4th grade, 5th grade like thoughts. The pros, I think the mobile suits were stellar from what I've seen so far in the Gundam lore. I love the mobile suits in Gundam Wing. The merchandise for Gundam Wing is definitely a pro. You can get it from action figures, DVD box sets, Blu-ray box sets, manga. They have they make the lunchbox. I mean, they have a whole lot when it comes to Gundam Wing. I don't think I've ever heard actually anybody refer to Gundam Wing as Transformers. I think people already know it's Gundam Wing, right? So to me, that's pretty dope. Like when you know how people say, "Oh, that's Transformers," it's always to a
CNN.
RX. Yeah, it's always to a
Look at a
RX.
unicorn Gundam, and they're like, and or that moving Gundam. Japan's finished their giant transformer, and then CNN literally had to leave like a new post under it saying, "We are very sorry. We understand this is a Gundam, not a transformer." They like CNN usually never corrects anything, and they're just like, "Oh my god, so much hate is coming our way."
Fire.
And the story is the characters are lovable. Each you can find yourself picking. Okay, I like this character. I like that character. I like this side. I like that side. I think how the impact and what you can get from Gundam Wing are the pros. As in, like, if you want to jump into a Gundam series and you're a little bit more advanced on the anime side, I'm not going to say a kid. I'm not going to say like it was us, right? Like, we were kids when this aired. I want to advise Gundam Wing to be a kids anime or a kids first Gundam series.
Hell no.
No, it literally ran a midnight uncensored version for a reason. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
Deaths.
But yeah, exactly.
We have no need for you anymore. What?
Like he wasn't going to die anyway when he hits the ground. Right. Let me just put a hole in him.
Wouldn't it answer questions if only my seat is up on the bay door? I'm like, that's a weird place to put it.
Right.
How about you sit down, Lady On, if you don't mind. Ladies first.
Yeah.
But the fact that if you want to get into an anime and you could get all of or Gundam and an advanced somebody that's advanced in anime wants to get into Gundam Wing, you can go and pick up Glory to the Losers. You can pick up Episode 0. You can pick up the movie. You can pick up the box set. Everything is relatively available for Gundam Wing. It's kind of hard on the like if I say, oh, you can get into Unicorn. Oh, you want to know how Full Frontal got Sinaju? Let me know when you find it. I'll pay you. Right? Like, because that's how it is. Because I know how he got into it, but I want the manga. Can't get the Unicorn manga. Can't get the IBO manga. No matter how hard. I mean, you can. You mean you ain't gonna read it, but everything relatively available for Gundam Wing, and I love it.
Accessibility was the main goal when they were making Wing, because Gundam Bandai decided to branch out and make a new series that would make people easier to get into Mobile Suit Gundam or even into mecha genre, so they could continue to sell kits and be profitable. I believe the first one they tried was Gundam X, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that was a trivia question. Yeah,
I think it was Gundam X. Yeah, and then Gundam Wing. No, it was G Gundam. Was it G Gundam or Gundam X? Either way. Anyway,
I thought it was Gundam X because of the kid, right? Because you said he was trying to make the kid.
If I remember correctly, I thought it was G Gundam first, and then Gundam Wing, and then Gundam X. But once again, we haven't done trivia in a while, so it could be either one.
Yeah,
we could just run that question back. But no, accessibility was the big pro for it, because you didn't need the backstory of the Universal Century, you didn't need decades of information, you didn't need to go through data, you didn't need to go through all this other stuff to just pick it up and pick up off for the bat. And the good thing is that it really did help. It was the perfect cavalcade. Cable had now become cheap and accessible enough for regular households where kids were able to watch shows. And it was the advantage of with internet coming on, people could share stuff in forums. You can get wallpapers for your computer back then. And it was pretty much the perfect cavalcade for something like this to blow up, as well as people getting the direct feed from Japan of the episodes uncensored if you wanted to. So it was not feed, but you could download them off the internet. It would be in that little download circle for like 5 minutes, but or 20 minutes. Now today, like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
But
one day on dial up.
Right, one day on dial. If anyone made a phone call, you'd be like, "Robin, get off the phone!"
79. You wonder why it's still stuck at 79%, and then it was just shut off. Like, hold on, man, you could have shut off a long time ago. But yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, it was it was a perfect cavalcade, and also the Gundam Wing, I think, with its theme music, its themes that it was talking about, its designs, its aesthetic, its color palette, and its animation, all essentially was just the perfect blend of what 90s anime is supposed to look like.
Absolutely.
There's other shows that do it well too. Like I said, Roman Kenshin was fantastic. Dragon Ball Z exudes 90s. But yeah, I think these were kind of the top tier ones when it comes to at least in the West of what we think of great anime.
Now, if you think about Toonami, like the block of shows they had, like it was like the perfect combination. Like you even had like the Sailor Moon in there earlier to kick it off. Or, then you had like Kenshin, like you said,
Tenchi
Warriors,
Warriors. Yeah,
the Tenchi saga came through. It was
right.
Then later they had Hamtaro, everyone's favorite.
Right, Hamtaro, of course. I remember watching Hamtaro.
I did watch Hamtaro though. I did like Hamtaro. Hamtaro.
Wow. I mean, y'all brought up some good points. Let's see who
voted off the show first.
Yeah. Let's see who's voted off the show first. So cons. Now again, I'm gonna be realistic. Go cons about this is probably the reused animation for me. That's a big thing. You can see every transformation. Anytime Wing Gundam transform from bird mode to mobile suit mode, you could it could be in the dark, and yet for some reason that glare will bounce off of it, off from the moon, right, or the sun, right, or that beam saber getting pulled out the same way, right? Yeah, so I understand
the same wheel explosions.
What? Yeah. For a long time, it took me a while to understand the story. I had to watch Gundam Wing in its entirety at least 4 or 5 times to figure out what exactly is going on, who's exactly the bad guy, who's exactly the good guys, who is in the right, who's in the wrong, what's the real plan, what's the real Operation Meteor. As a kid, I was enjoying the aesthetics, the look, the whole kit and caboodle. Young adult, I went back and rewatched, and I was like, I'm still kind of lost with like the fractions and everything. Again, who is the good guy, who's the bad guy? Rewatching the episodes that 5 episodes here, 8 episodes here. Okay, now the story is more complex than a normal Gundam. I mean, think about G Gundam. I'm looking for my brother. I want to fight my way through it until I find an answer. Right, so it's kind of like not as crazy.
End of the line with Gundam, you're kind of like, yeah, correct. Definitely. I agree with you on that. Story was not for kids. Like,
yeah,
me going back as a kid, like you were saying, like I watched it for the fights. I guess the animation back then, but like, just like the era of it. Like, but now, like going back and looking at it, I don't have a clue. And I think my biggest thing was, even though like it's not supposed to have understood the character some backstory. I know that episode 0 came out and like we have like the mangas, but the anime doesn't like divulge anything. Like they kind of like touch on some shit, and then like you might not hear about it for 45 more episodes, and they might be like, oh, this is why we did that, which is cool. But at the same time, like I still don't know what the hell happened.
That's true. All right, that's a good one.
So I might actually shock you guys in saying that the story makes sense to me. Believe it or not, it's actually not that hard to follow.
Because you're
the problem is
30 years old rewatching it.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Imagine being 13, trying to figure out what the.
I mean, that's. I mean, yeah, but I mean, it wasn't that hard to follow Dragon Ball Z, and I was that age too.
Yeah, but Dragon Ball Z was like, this guy level up.
The thing with Gundam is that it's always been morally gray. That's kind of Gundam's calling card. It's supposed to make the bad guys not that bad, the good guys not that good, right? So
I had no clue who the Rockefeller Foundation was when I was 12 years old.
So,
I didn't fuck with them. That's all I know. I don't fuck with the Rockefellers.
And then you found out the Rockefellers were actually the good guys in the end, didn't they? Right. So the story is actually pretty easy to follow. It starts with the Earth Federation, then the Oz, and then the Rockefeller Foundation, and then the White Fang. Right.
Yeah.
It's all actually kind of in line. The problem is that they don't really interconnect that good besides Rockefeller and Earth Federation. That's it. That's the only two that really integrate. White Fang, who the heck are these guys? Where the heck they come from? I mean, understand why they exist, how they got started. But they got all this, and then Zex just makes a complete 180 from peacecraft to a militant. I'm gonna destroy the Earth so that war doesn't. And like, well, Epion is the person who destroyed his brain, and I was like, but he was fine. Like when he first piloted for a while, he was cool. He just happened to just be like, no, and and I was like, man, this is some. They're doing some stuff here to try and make the plot work. I see it, but the connections aren't really holding up. They're not really all that strong. The characters are rememberable, but only some of them are likable, which a lot of anime can get by. But the mass majority of them are just. I mean, let's get started. I mean, Hiro Yui is
he went to the top.
He went
great. He had his ideas and philosophies are just completely broken. Zex Marquise goes from a pretty phenomenal character to one that just has to be the bad guy.
Download this app for me, Austen.
What's that called?
Indeed.
What's that? Indeed.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like maybe my watch through Gundam was maybe a little bit hurt as recently, because I did rewatch the whole series in preparation for this, and it actually.
Hero is probably one of the most bland main characters
and most misguided ones. I mean, and confusing. I mean, his philosophy makes zero sense in almost everything he does, but everyone praises him as if everything he does is amazing and tactical, and that's just the type of person he is. A dummy? Yeah. What?
What's an example?
Okay, so he spoilers, everybody, but I guess that comes with the territory. He ends up killing the council that was about to vote for world peace and the true pacifism, right? He kills them
on the plane.
On the plane, and he cuts them in half, and it was Oz who tricked him.
Thinking it was Oz.
Thinking it was Oz. Yeah, tricked him. So his idea of getting repentant, or being repented for it, is going to every person, every relative of the main guy on the plane, like the actual council leader, and giving them a gun and saying, should you end my life or not? Right.
Okay. That's deep though.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Did you mean to kill him? No, you were tricked. So what you should do for repentance is you go get the people who tricked you first. Then you come back to his family members and be like, should I live or die? Because now I have nothing to live for, because I've just destroyed the best.
I think that was dope though. Like the fact is, like, I made peace with the people that I've wronged.
And he went to the daughter first, and then the granddaughter, and then he said he was going to go to each one. But here's also another thing: if he's going to do that, why just that guy on the airplane? He killed like 30 people on that plane. He has a long list.
Hey man, we only got like 49 episodes, man. What do you want me to do?
That guy's family gets to decide his life.
You guys feel like they rushed Wing at the end?
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
The last 10 episodes were White Fang. Zach Marquise, leader of the White Fang. Leos, blow up. Tauruses, we're not even using those anymore. Blow up. Right? Fire at the earth with a giant laser cannon. God knows how much damage that first hit did, because we don't really get an example of how really the ship is a threat, because it only destroys one city. And last time I checked, there's like hundreds of cities. So that ship's just gonna have to be up there just pop.
But I think it was like at 80% when they fired it. I think
even at 100%, if 80% only levels a city, 20 more percent will level a city and a half. There's a lot of cities on the planet.
What did Quattro do to that colony with just the Wing Zero? Like, damn.
Right? The Wing Zero leveled a whole colony, which is apparently like the size of several cities.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Like a country within itself.
And it's a bit inconsistent with its characters. Wu Fei is by default probably the one that comes out kind of unscathed, but that's because he has the least amount of screen time and the least to do. Ketra is or was his name Quattro is supposed to be the brains of the operation, but he makes some of the dumbest mistakes. And then when he turns evil, that's actually the only time he became interesting. Trey's Kush Renata, he's actually pretty cool, but he leaves the story pretty early on and then comes back at the end.
Is Trey's a Char clone?
No, Zex is.
You don't think Trey's could be Char's counterattack?
Nah, because Trey's became at the end about the space noids. He became about the space people. He is the definition of Char. Trey's, if anything, was probably who's that leader in Xeon that was not Dulons or whatever his name is. He was more of him toward the beginning, and then toward the end he became like General Rofel or whatever his name is, right? So from the Universal Century, but the gist of it is that these characters and these story threads are all hanging on by just literally just by the faintest of margins, just duct tape and magic everywhere, kind of putting this bad boy together. And it Coop made the most interesting face I've ever seen. But
get this man some Tums like you told me, huh?
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, and the story is not that great, but I mean, and that's probably the biggest hurdle I had to get over. The good thing was we were all young watching it. The story didn't matter as much as watching explosions or somebody take out something or a hero do a cool chaotic scene. Because the one thing about anime characters back then is that they were super cool when they did nothing. I mean, they're still cool today when they do nothing. It's just cool when they're super OP today when they do nothing. I mean, I was reincarnated in the world with over 300 level XP because I sold all of my kidneys back in their previous world is literally like an anime that could probably come out, right? And back then, you were cool, but you did stuff. Like Hero, at least he was doing things. They were dumb things, but he was doing things. So, yeah. I'm sorry. I went on talking for a while. I've been bottling up my rant for a while.
Thank you, man. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
It's not. That's why I was like, I'm not going to lose this job.
What'd you think, CD? What did you give your cons, man?
Yeah, just same thing as like I was saying, like just storytelling. You know, I think that was his biggest hindrance. Mm-hmm. And like I said, and I feel like sometimes you shouldn't have to have the manga to like really understand people.
Yeah, that's true.
And on top of that, I don't want to hear anybody, and I mean anybody, complain about reused animation in Mobile Suit Gundam Seed. I don't want to hear it. I do not want to hear it. I swear to God, the same Leo died to the same Torres in the same position at the same time, at least 45 scenes in one episode.
That's all hand drawn, though.
I swear to God.
Seed is like
no. It was all hand drawn once.
Yeah, okay, sure. Seed wasn't that the first one?
Copy paste.
Wasn't Seed not? Well, that was the
Seed
first.
Was the first digital one, and that was still they reused animation all the time in Seed too. They've used animation a lot. Double O, I think, was the first one where you don't see a lot of reused animation. Like almost every fight scene was unique. There's almost no reused animation in that, except for maybe like certain firing positions. But that's about it.
Actually, I had a few of them.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments below, people. What are y'all pros and cons with Gundam Wing? Is it your favorite? Is it close to the top? Is it iconic? To me, it's the Jordan of Gundam. To be honest with you, the Michael Jordan of Gundam is Gundam Wing.
So I'm asking you, like you did the Epion, is it nostalgia only or just everything?
Because I mean, toward the end of it, I mean, well, actually, now I think it's more of the Jordan when he was on the Wizards. Like his legend has kind of faded now, but everybody still knows he's a legend. But they kind of see what he's at now.
You can't even give me that 6 championship, huh? You gotta give me Jordan on the Wizard.
You still
I'm not asking for the
that's still 43 a game, Jordan. I mean 23 a game, Jordan.
He's still batting at high average. It's just
okay, cool. Long as it's not the baseball Jordan, I'll take it.
Oh God, no. Oh God, no. No. I mean,
but
we're not talking about Destiny. wait, come on.
Destiny.
Yes, see Destiny. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Let us know in the comments below what's the pros and cons of Gundam Wing, man. Let's go into this. Wing favorites. What are your favorites about Gundam Wing itself? I know this is kind of separate from the pros, but I
Heavy arms.
think got heavy arms. Yeah, I think Gundam Wing overall has the best suits. So they have my favorite suits. They have as a overall, I think that when you sit back and go line them up, we got Unicorn. Unicorn has some dope suits, but only like 2 or 3 of them. Maybe you can reach. We can do 4 or 5. I think the group, if you go group by group, I think the Gundam Wing suits are better than the Double O suits. I think Wing Zero, Wing Gundam over Exia. No, I'll take the aesthetic look of Exia over Wing Gundam. But Death Sight is over Dynamis. Heavy Arms is over
Heavy arms is amazing.
Kyrios. Even if you go firepower, Heavy Arms is over Dynamis. Shenlong is over Virtue or any other one. And so Sandrock might be the only one that's not. The Tallgeese is the best version. I mean, it's better than any enemy suit I've seen.
Seed knocks
all of them. Yeah. Go ahead, CD. Go ahead, CD.
Seed, I
think the Jin is like they're almost a grunt, and it's probably better than every grunt suit in all of Gundam Wing.
Honestly, I think Seed knocked it out the park with their designs. I don't think there is a bad design in Seed.
That's not to say that Seed probably drew from Wing, like Buster Gundam is probably their universe's Heavy Arms and like the Blitz, Death Scythe, but it's done. The angular, like Austen always talks about how the squares and the triangles, like the angles on every kid seat or every seat kit looks like
it does look crazy for somebody. I haven't really got in depth in it, and I know Seed is up there when it comes to aesthetic looks of a Gundam kit. But
I will say this: Wing has some of the most unique and probably the best silhouettes for Gundams. Because with Seed, if you blacked out the lines, some Seed suits could get lost in the shuffle because they're kind of hard to tell because all of them have rectangle shoulders. All of them have, like I said, rectangle to oval calves, right?
Yeah.
With Wing, they follow that similar design language, but they have enough flair. Death Sight won't be confused no matter how, Heavy Arms definitely can't be confused with its silhouette. Wing Gundam definitely can't be confused with its silhouette, right? Every other Sandrock, shit, you just look at the shoulders and you're just like, yeah, that's Sandrock. He's not gonna do much, but he's Sandrock. The blades,
most memorable,
right? So they definitely hold a stamp in your mind of their design, right? The issue is, I think, with Wing is that the color palettes I don't think differentiate enough. I think that's why Heavy Arms sticks out. It's the only overly red suit. And then even in the movie, it's that blue that
that's why they changed the Shenlong's colors. So in season 2 because
or the other one,
because of both of them. That great, even in season 2 when it got its upgrade, it got away from the red, blue, and white because it's so confusing. But Wing probably has has my favorite version of Char and Zex Marquis and Miliardo Peachcraft. Has my favorite version of the Zaku 2 and Epion. And it also has my favorite version of new type ability, which in the Zero system.
I think Wing has some of my favorite grunt suits, but one particularly, the Ares. The Ares, literally, I wanted to be a pilot growing up, so looking at the Ares was literally just me in a suit, and I would run around as a kid pretending I was an Ares, just shooting down
literally
bad guys. Like literally flying around in my room like that, like just shooting at Gundams and knowing I'm not going to win against a Gundam, but pretending I'm that anyway, right? The Ares is fantastic. I also, fun fact, I like the design of the colonies. I think it's so uniquely, like in Seed, you have that weird sand timepiece design. In Mobile Suit Gundam Original, you just have the cylinder. And Double, I don't even know, Double had a space colony that was they just have the orb, right? That long orb that's based on the old drawings
and the elevator and stuff like
elevator.
that.
Right. Yeah, Wing had the dopest colonies because they would do like curves and angles, but also have counter what is it? Perpendicular lines over each other, followed by an orb in the center. It looked like a Cylon battleship mixed with a long UFO disc. I was looking at that like I've never seen colonies that unique ever since. Right, even Witch of Mercury, they tried to redo it with like the curves of it all, but it's attached to an asteroid, and I'm just like, you ruined it. Just use the wing, just use the wing colonies. What are we doing? What are we all doing? The answer has been given.
Yeah,
everybody cheat. It's fine. You will pass the test. Just
Wing does have the dopest cockpit too.
Yeah, and some of the dopest support craft. Some of the aircraft or shuttles in Wing are some of the best looking I've seen, because everyone else tries to go overboard. Here's some crazy wing angles with angle and stuff like that. No. You can make something look like a space shuttle with like ramjet engine designs with the closing opening vents on the bottom. You can make like Zex's personal blue ship that's also like amphibious is fucking dope. It looks like an Aurora bomber with the plasma gun on the top, right? It doesn't things and the ones like in the movie where they come down and the ships have the thrusters in the front and the cockpits in the front, but it doesn't look like that when it looks like it's so that when it launches it's all thought out, and it all looks, in my opinion, better support craft than I see. Like Witch of Mercury has like those support craft that are literally cargo ships, like you find an Eve Online, right? 00, that they're even their command ship in 00 to me looks silly. It looks like a whale that has just 4 counter rotating hangar pods, which kind of even begs the question: why are they launching from the center? Just open those hangar pods and launch them from there. That would save you a ton of time. Also, why would you keep them on the outside of your ship? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm getting into it now. I'm thinking about it, but anyway, everything around Gundams as far as designs is fantastic. Some of my favorite designs. Especially in the world of what things are. There's nothing that's super crazy, and all of it feels as if it could happen tomorrow. Like we could build something like that today, realistic, and have it field tested today. Yeah, right. And all the other Gundam series, we ain't having floating cars. That dream's gone. Everyone's like, I got a flying car. Like, no, you have like 30 drones duct taped to a Kia. Is that a Kia?
Right.
Like flying, and you're saying you have a flying car. Like, nah, bruh. And if John had too many hamburgers the day before, it's not lifting off at all. Yeah, okay.
What about you, CD? What's your favorite Wing moments?
Wing moments. Any Shenlong fight.
Wing.
I think the Tallgeese is probably my, excluding the Shenlong, is the pinnacle of the show in suits. Epion's up there, but I think the Tallgeese, 1, 2, 3, all the forms of Tallgeese through Wing, even because the Gundams were based on it in the lore anyway, I think it just captured the show like super minimal, but super like just stands above everything. You know, like all the Gundams have crazy ass shit going on, and like, it's just the Tallgeese holding its own against these suits, and that kind of stands out to me. And as Wing, like it's just Wing. And like you see such a big ass timeline, but Wing stands up to any other timeline. So Wing holds a special place in my heart. It's always going to be like super important to me, and I just love coming back to it. I don't feel like it, you know, it has its place in time in Gundam. Like we talked about, there's a lot of kits that look better. There's a lot of story that could be better, but Wing as a whole kind of like started me into this place where I am in my life. And so I don't think I wouldn't be CD without it.
Yeah, facts. And I think Wing 2 has probably the outside, I guess, Witch from Mercury now, the best representation of females in a Gundam series, because all of them do something. Relena wasn't that bad. Relena was questionable, but then you got Noin. Noin was dope. It's not I guess. Marina from Unicorn.
I would give you every female in Gundam Wing has something to do, has a plot moment, has their moment.
Sally Poe,
Sally Poe, even
Hildy, Hildy. So they all have their the females in the show all have their moments, which is pretty dope. You don't get lost. Like sometimes you watch a Gundam show, it's like, are you just putting this female here to attract the female audience?
Right.
So,
you know what? I don't think any of them were like overly like
crazy,
promiscuous or anything like that. Like
I think
I don't think that was the
like,
main game.
the flirtation, which is I guess would probably be a common military type of way to flirt with if you're annoying and Zex, you know, like the bar scene where she's tapping a sword on his sword, you know, giving those signals.
And that wasn't even promiscuous. That was just that actually felt genuine from two people who care about each other.
Yeah,
or at least someone who cares about someone else. It's just but like Noin, I never got the gist like Noin was out of her element. Like in every single fight she was in, she was balls to the wall, like knew what to do. Like, all right, you go here, you go here, get the Kaza camera, go here, I'll distract him and bring up here. Like, she has a plan, and that's what made her badass.
And it wasn't like a like, not saying a servant like Marita with the Kshatriya, but it definitely felt like Marita was do this. Okay, no problem. Do this. Like, and as because that's how they developed her, supposed to be like a super soldier, sure, but it didn't seem like she had a personality. Once you got to know her in the story and and you see where she came from, but it seemed like you could. I don't know if you could devote a whole show to Earth Marina. I wouldn't mind seeing a Noin show, a spinoff with Noin. So that's dope. What about what? Like I said, it's my favorite version of the new type. What do y'all think about the Zero system? Is that what is your favorite version of new type?
It's nice to have a new type of theme that's more easily explained and easily accessible, and also is more terrifying. So in the original Gundam, new type is kind of just this thing, and it gets explained over time. But really, it's just like these Vinosky particles has turned you into a Jedi. You're right. You become a Jedi, right? And every other Gundam series, it's so vague, right? And Wing, I think, kind of just breaks that mold of saying, no, it is a computer system, and it is something that affects you only when you're piloting this suit, and this is how it works. Here's the trade-offs, here's the benefits, here's the the cons of using it, right? And only special people can use this. And by special, that doesn't just mean a good pilot, it means someone who's mentally able to process this stuff and mentally stable. Mentally stable,
because you'll snap.
Definitely. This one in the Valet Vignons from IBO, just because realistically, you could see someone having to tap into the central nervous system to like better pilot something. IBO versus this like an actual machine. Like, all right, like this computer's taking over versus
and I think it's
Jedi mind trick shit.
It has to be something within a pilot to machine. I think what makes it dope to me, because the Trans Am isn't dope to me. If that's since that's their version of new type abilities.
I think Awakening Double O was like the whole new type focused version of 00, where he was like he can speak to the aliens or communicate, become one with the aliens or something like that. Yeah. That was more new type in a physical sense, but it was also silly. It was also
but the Zero system is probably like, again, the dopest version to me of and this is when it comes down to why Wing is so high in my book, right? Because it has its flaws, as it should, because it's not going to be perfect, but there's a lot of stuff that weighs like who do y'all have as the number one Char outside of Char? You know, like it has to go to Zex Marquise, right? Like it has to be. That's like kind of like a landslide. Well, it's not what's his name, Ribbons from Double. It's not my man Ribbons from 00. It's not my man McGillis. McGillis is up there. It's close. I think
McGillis is like
it's almost like Zex. It's close.
Yeah. He also has a little. What was the other guy? From the Rockefeller.
The dude he betrayed.
Trace.
Yeah, because Trace had a little like conniving.
Yeah.
Backstabbing. Same with McGillis. You know, he was
politician.
To the top.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see who else is out there.
Full Frontal.
But that's still kind of Char.
That's literally a Char clone.
Yeah.
In the story, it's a Char clone.
Yeah. Well, you got my man.
Like, was that a good idea,
I'm about
sir?
to
He
say
didn't really
Spiegel.
Xeon.
My man with the mask on, Germany from G Gundam. Wasn't that Shark? So he has to be the number one Shark clone, right?
Probably the best one. I still have to watch Gundam X, so
Yeah.
I have to find out what the Char version it is. But yeah,
we're gonna see boy from Witch of Mercury on his Char ship.
You know what? Him and the dude from Seed, Mula Flog, not Mula Flogger. It's the guy they fight. I'm blanking on his name, but yeah, he's pretty
blonde hair with the
Providence Gundam. The Providence Gundam. Yeah, there you go. Oh, there you go. One design in Seed that doesn't make that's not very good is Providence Gundam, but
it's a turtle.
Yeah, it's a turtle and it shoots off spikes.
Exactly.
Zex is probably it.
Zex is probably it. I think he probably has the also too the dopest mask. Is the Zex Marquise mask the dopest Char mask outside of obviously Char? I think Full Frontal probably takes it.
Actually, I think Zex's mask is actually cooler than Char's, in my opinion. Char has that double fin right there, which always looked a little bit too much for me. I would be like, oh, okay, we get it. Calm down. Right. But but Char's was very clean, very sleek, and had a beak nose that came down to it. Pretty dope. So,
which goes into the
and he had the long white flowing hair coming off of it too. That was pretty dope.
Is Epion the best red suit outside of the regular Char?
I like the Sinanju.
But that's still the Sinanju's dope. But out non-UC, because you got my man Alejandro. Is that his name? Alejandro from 00? In that fangs. Dude, fake funnels.
Dude,
I'm trying to remember.
Epion. Oh man, the
Epion, for what it's worth, is the heat ride, the beam saber. It's tough. The fact that it transformed to a dragon, it's tough to beat that.
I like the Epion's beam saber that's connected to a cable, and that would give it more power. I like that type of idea of engineering, but I always think the Epion has gone a little bit too far. Like, I look at the leg designs, and I'm like, okay, guys, we can calm down. We don't need that many vents. Okay, guys, we can calm down. We don't need to transform.
Does it shoot fire out of its mouth when it's in dragon form?
I don't think so. To be honest with you, no.
I feel like
like if it shot fire through its feet when it transforms in the dragon form, it'd be like, okay, guys, let's relax.
I feel like that's
right. If you see the wings,
like,
hey guys, relax. There's so many vents, on the Epion.
And that RG is going to be pretty. That
RG, I mean, it's going to be a great model kit. It's just going to look silly. I mean, it's going to be great. It's just going to look silly.
Again,
it's fine. Which is fine. It's 90s design. It's a 90s. That's what 90s designs are. They're silly. There's a mobile suit with a giant Gatling gun and then Gatling guns in his chest that open up on his shoulder to revolve missile pods. Like we're being silly, and it's okay. Yeah, that's the point. It's 90s, right? We have a Gundam called Death Scythe. He literally has a scythe, and they call him the God of Death. Like it's fine. Like we're just missing a Gundam called Hammer Thrust, who has a hammer and thrusts really hard. So I mean, I'm sorry.
We go back. If Heavy Arms is probably the best, that's their version of gun cannon.
Well, Heavy Arms, in my opinion, is still the best suit in Seed. I mean, not Seed. Jesus Christ, best suit in Wing. I think both versions, even the Endless Waltz version. Even the Kai, I like the fact that it had 2 Gatling guns. It was even more death and destruction, and the fact that it had a knife that popped out. It was a cool that in my opinion is my favorite Wing suit is Heavy Arms. Hell, I
Heavy
bought
Arms, Endless Waltz,
with the mask. Yeah, and speaking of that, the Heavy Arms pilot, right?
Troa
is the best character in Gundam Wing, hands down.
Troa Barton.
Troa Barton is the best character in Gundam Wing, hands down. He is efficient. He is smart. He is calculated. He gets shit done. He can go undercover. He is everything you want in a main character. He's so good. They had to give him amnesia so everyone else could shine and catch up to him. He has the best girl and the circus lady who was with him, who she was hot as mess. right? He has the coolest job as just standing there. You want to talk about a character that has no emotion. Barton was sitting there just getting knives thrown at him, right? And she's like, why didn't you dodge or move? He was like, because I already died a long time ago. Like, he just out-heroed Hero. He just out-heroed Hero. How is that possible? And he did it cool. And I actually like him. I actually like him far more than anybody here. Everyone else could die, and I couldn't care less. But as long as Barton lives, he's good. Oh, Duo is fun. I'm sorry. Reframe. Duo is the funnest character. So we have Duo, who is so fun, and Barton, who is so smart and calculating, is kind of a main character. And then you have everyone else.
I think with me, it's going to be Zex is probably my number one. Then it's Duo. Zex is definitely grew when it comes to my favorite Gundam Wing pilot.
The only problem I have with Zex is that sudden turn at the end. If he actually stuck to the whole Peacecraft type of ordeal, he got about
But that's what his sister was doing, though. His sister was doing that, though.
And let's talk about his sister. I know this is Wing favorites, but
absolute pacifism was terrible too. I'm not gonna lie to you.
So we're gonna go. How about we go this? You're not so favorite.
Okay, there we go. We'll roll right into it. Relena Peacecraft's ideals and philosophies are ridiculous and terrible. And the fact that somehow she was able to convince everybody in the world to give up weapons 3 times. She convinced the Rockefeller Foundation. She convinced the Space
Rockefeller, not Rockefeller.
Whatever.
Talk about Jay-Z.
and then the third time, she almost tried to convince her brother, right? And she almost did it, right? So she can convince people to give up weapons, but why? Well, the world will Relena, what if someone wants to fight somebody? What if somebody wants something that they have that you don't have, right? And they have to go out and fight them. Well, no. Answer that question first. Also, you say total pacifism. You have a royal guard of tall geezes or Tauruses right behind you, all with guns. What are you talking about, right? Your school is anyway.
Y'all believe what my man Trace was pumping out? We all need it. Somebody needs to be piloting these. We all need at least one human on the battlefield. Well, because he was like, he was against it. Shit.
I like the idea of a show talking about drone warfare. Because Gundam was bringing up kind of relative stuff because the Gulf War was, I think, wrapping up or getting more intense at the time. Drone warfare was starting to come more and more into it, and then the use of Predator drones and stuff like that, and Predator strikes, which I think became more of a tone that was pretty interesting to go into. But at the same time, I think it's an interesting plot point, but it could have been probably done a little bit better. But then, of course, that's just kind of lost toward the end. I mean, at that point, the white
thing was mobile dolls.
Yeah, what was the point? Well, there was no even point of. We never resolved that issue. The mobile dolls are still out there, right?
Not only that, his daughter is the one that was pumping out more mobile. No, was she pumping out more mobile dolls? No, this
Money Mayor.
Yeah, Marty Mayer had she dropped Virgos. I think it was her and Dakin. That, Dakin was
well, the Serpents had pilots. I know that.
Yeah, but I think the Tauruses. Then Dakin also bought Tauruses, so he might have been in her ear like, we need mobile dolls too.
Yeah, that plot point's never really solved. I mean, we just probably have to believe that they got rid of them somehow. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that's not really solved. I mean, my biggest problem with this anime was the sudden turn of the story about 3/3 of the way through with the White Fang. That just felt like an absolute patch job to try and
finish it out.
Let's finish this off. And also, Hero's character, I'm gonna go kill Relena Peacecraft. He literally gets there, aims a gun. She says like 3 words, and he's like, "Come with me. I'm letting you out. We're gonna see what you're gonna do." The abridged version, there's an abridged series going on with Gundam Wing, and it perfectly captures the moment where he's there and he's like, "Why in the world am I saving her?" He even asked that, like episode 5 or 6 or whatever. Like he's in the Gundam and he lands on top of her, protects her. He's like, "Why am I saving her?" Right? Yeah. In the abridged version, Rena's like, "Ha! You can't kill me, can you? It's because you like me, huh?" And he's like, "No, I gotta kill her. I gotta step on her." and he's like, "Dude, the character moments in them are not as strong as I remember." Then again, I was a kid, but looking at it now, it's just it became sometimes a chore to get through any scene that didn't have Duo or Troy Barton in it.
I could feel you on that. I could feel you. One of my, I'm not a big fan of the amphibious suits, but they probably have the worst amphibious suits I've seen, in the Cancer and the Pisces.
I actually kind of like the Pisces and the Cancer.
That shit looks
I
terrible.
like the Cancer, dog.
That shit looks terrible. Like that's supposed to be the at guy and my Zgok.
Yep.
It kind of makes sense. They're shaped like submarines. The at guy is just round.
Yeah. I
I'm
mean,
not gonna
again,
lie,
I'm not
that.
Go ahead.
I don't know if you guys remember Outlaw Star.
Yeah.
The Cancer kind of reminds me like of a ship with arms that comes out.
Yeah.
Outlaw Star. So
the Outlaw Starship.
it made sense. It made sense to me. It made sense.
And
it was
another great 90s anime, by the way. Outlaw Star.
Yep. Another Toonami. Gotta be there to be there. But again, just going back on how, as a kid, I guess the storyline is what makes it for me. I know I have to pay attention. You can't go into this and say I want to shut my brain unless you've seen it 1,000 times. I want to shut my brain off, and that's sometimes I wish it could be like certain episodes.
You can. There's certain episodes where it's literally just mindless destruction.
Yeah,
like the episode where the bomb was set to blow up and Hero has to go in and disconnect the bomb unit, and he has like 30 seconds, and they're like, if anybody can do it, he can do it. That's literally just a Mission Impossible scene. You can cut off and just watch the action right there.
Yeah, that's true too. But non-favorites, it's not a whole lot. It's definitely not a whole lot. What about you, CD? You got anything that's in Gundam Wing that's like,
nothing that was like some of the suits I didn't really like the Virgos. I didn't like the what was the other one in space? Like fucking starfish.
The Tauruses.
Yeah, I didn't care for
the Tauruses. Yeah,
look like starfish to me. Those were like my least favorite suits of the series. I wish we would have got more like on the doctors, like the guys that made the suits. I would have loved to like hear more of that. And that's just my personal gripe. But other than that, I mean, honestly, it has its places, where it struggled, but it also has its places where it succeeded. So
yeah,
it's a meh.
Gotcha.
If there's one major criticism I can give Mobile Suit Gundam Wing, it's that sometimes it has it has not enough pivotal moments that matter, and sometimes too many moments that don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Like there's a couple episodes here and there where if this person fails in this mission, it's fine, nothing changes. They still end up going to space. They still end up fighting.
I also hate how they always tried to blow up their fucking Gundams and they just didn't blow up. They're like, they like a couple pieces.
Yeah, that was kind of like weird too. Like, was that if that's not a new type ability in the show because the Zero System, like Sandrock opens up tells, and catch her to get the fuck out. Like, what made it? It didn't explain what made it do that.
Yeah.
It didn't explain in Gundam in the movie what made Wing Zero just turn on.
I didn't like the fact that a self-destruct only destroyed like 30% of the suit.
Yeah,
like when a self-destruct happened, like that explosion was big, and you mean to tell me only the head's gone?
Well, the Gundanium alloy. Gundanium alloy. I can understand that. That's fine.
I mean, how did Hero survive that shit? How tall is a Gundam in scale for him to jump off and not die? I don't care if you're in the desert or not.
That's plot armor, bro. That dude, like
Zek's building 2 Wing Zeros. That shit pissed me off. Like he built a whole separate one to blow up, and then he built that one to take.
He built it out of spare parts with the Talgies. So
that's a whole ass Gundam.
But he built it just to fight, though. He built it for Hero to.
He built the one he blow up. He literally just sculpted the armor, but it wasn't Gundam armor. It was just regular armor. He just built it with Talgies parts and it just sculpted to look like it. Like I bet if you got in, like everything would fall apart. Like it was literally just probably like glued. Like a Gunpla, like glued on the ground there, right? And if a strong wind came, it would have fell over.
Do y'all like the take of, which is different? I never actually until I watched 00. Did y'all like the lore behind the Gundam itself? Like Gundanium alloy, a special type of material makes these guns. You know how like in 00, they're Gundams, but what makes them special? Is it because it has the GN drive?
So there's good and bad to that though, because the honestly, Gundam Wing, in my opinion, also kind of hurt Gundam down the line when people were getting into Gundam, because all throughout Gundam, Gundam is not some impenetrable, invincible suit. It's just an ace pilot machine, right?
Yeah.
That has sometimes special abilities. Like the ARC 78 is very vulnerable. It can take a beam rifle to the chest and die, right? In Gundam Wing, since it was the first Gundam we're all introduced to, we all believe that Gundams are impenetrable, invincible machines. How many times do we see the heavy arms just walking up, literally just getting shot like in the face, just taking
His
it like
chest
a champ,
open,
right? And
like,
then
how are you guys blowing up?
yeah, right. Or the Wing Zero in the first episode, the Wing gets shot with like 3 heat-seeking missiles on the back, then like shot in the face with from like 155 millimeter derp cannon, right? And he's just and nothing. There's not even a scratch on it, and you're just like, damn, how durable are these things, right?
Yeah.
So, but then going further in Gundam, especially when you get to Seed and Double O, right? Seed has the PSS armor or the PSA armor, phase shift array, right? Which protects it from kinetic energy, but beam weaponry attacks it. And that's the first time you're like, oh man, these Gundams aren't as strong as the Wing Gundams. I mean, these guys are getting kind of beat up. Then you get to Double O, and you're like, oh, they're really vulnerable. Like ain't nothing stopping them. Then you watch Unicorn, you're like, oh my god, everyone's dying. It doesn't matter what suit they're in. Everyone's dying, right? So, in my opinion, it was a good plot to have, especially for us as young kids, because invincibility is always a cool superpower. We all wanted to be Superman in some capacity, right? And but going further down the line, I think it kind of hurt Gundam.
But you think that, did you like the take on it though? Because like you said,
I enjoyed it as a kid. Yeah,
you don't know.
As an adult, it just didn't put any. It didn't put any pressure in the series. Like I never felt scared for them. If they're in the suit, they're fine. They're not going to die.
And I don't know what made it special, because Gundam, after going back and watching Origin, is just a code name, right? It's just so I don't know what made the word Gundam to make them say we're going to separate this from. Now, if there was like, we calling these things Gundams because it's the different code name. It just don't like the lore of it. We like Double O, right? Like Gundams were these machines that went out and sought after these mobile armors during the Calamity War. That's a dope take.
IBO,
IBO and Double O. They're just called
GN drives
with the GN drive, right? If it just takes a GN drive, it's a Gundam. But
a Gundam is like meant to sort out the end of war or something like that. Like there's a whole thing in Double O.
Yeah, so I like it. The Gundanium alloy, which is a pretty dope way of saying like their version of vibranium, right, or adamantium. What was y'all take on the Mercurius and the V8? Y'all like those?
Nope.
You didn't like the Mercurius and the V8?
Dope suits. I like them.
Dope suits. They were.
So my issue with wingsuits are the legs. For all the Leo based suits, the tall geese, the V8, the legs all look the same, and they all are very smooth. And they're all very smooth, and they all look too straight. Like if you look at the tall geese's legs and the Leo's legs and the V8's legs, all of them are that.
Oh, so you got the cheat sheet over there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Like look at from the calf down. Like it's all just there's nothing to it. It's just like a straight line, pretty much, right? But if you look at like the Wing Zero or the Wings calves, they got vents, they got ovals, they got curves. Like even later down the line when you see they started doing that with the calves are always bulged, right? They're never straight lines. Yeah, look at that. Right. Even the heavy arms, now it got vents, calves, curves. It's got missile pods. It's got everything.
But does that just go into the lore of it being the tall geese being the original?
It could.
It shouldn't be upgraded.
It could, but it's not an excuse for design. Like if you can say whatever you want, but not you, Coop, particularly. I'm saying the designers designing making the suit could say whatever they want, but if it's a bad design, it's a bad design. If I don't even say it's a bad design, it's just a boring design. There's not a lot going on from the waist down. From the waist even looks cool, the tall geese, but everything else further down, the quad, the calf, and nothing cool happens until you get to the ankle or the feet. It's just everything else is blank.
What did
Actually
you?
said that Mercurius and V8 both could have had upgraded legs since they were like the latest unit.
Yeah,
But I did like how
yeah.
one focused on offense and one focused on defense,
Yeah.
And you got
how they
to
kept
pair them together.
right, and then they used that down the line on the
Virgo.
Tauruses that had the Virgos.
Not a Virgo, yeah.
Mhm.
So like I like how they implemented that and then they continued it on.
I like the design language of regular grunt suits have square screens or square heads, right? I think in the V8 they could have done more. They could have probably given them 2 eyes just to make it cooler. But
yeah, make
hey,
it more of a more Gundam-esque. But I think that would just take away from because I think let me see.
Are the other two in there? The white and purple one, the P Bandai ones are getting ready to come out in that book.
Oh no,
I thought that was just a recolor or
I think
Gundam
that's
design.
in. Yeah, I forgot what that was for.
Was that in
MSV, right?
Yeah. What do y'all take? Y'all think that Gundam Wing has the best? I'm going to say yes to everything I'm asking.
I noticed the trend. I noticed the trend. You asked this. So Gundam Wing has this. Yes, it does. All right, you guys converse.
Do y'all think it has the best upgraded suits for Gundam series?
I would no.
Who has the best upgraded suits? Who goes from like because you got Shenlong.
Well, does Wing Zero? I mean, does Endless Waltz count?
Technically,
if Endless Waltz counts, I think Endless Waltz has the best designs for Gundam Wing.
Well, what I'm asking is, almost every Gundam series you go from.
Yeah, you get the mid-season upgrade.
Yeah, mid-season upgrade.
Yeah.
So do you don't like the Gundam Wing TV mid-season upgrade? Like this right here of Ultron is technically the same as this.
I think the Endless Waltz version is leagues better.
Yeah,
leagues better. It is beyond
by
1,000. By 1,000. I think the Endless Waltz version of Heavy Arms leagues better.
Oh yeah, all of them are.
Yeah,
I don't think
Death Scythe Endless Waltz versions leagues better.
Sandrock.
Sandrock. Sandrock is going to be a Sandrock, but it's still better, right? I think the
but
Death
do y'all
Scythe,
think?
Go ahead.
Do y'all think that Gundam Wing has the best upgraded suits?
Nah. I think the Freedom in Gundam Seed is probably the best upgraded suit, mid-season upgrade, a protagonist has ever gotten in any suit design ever. Next to that would probably be the 00. And then after that would
the
00 Riser or Zen Riser.
You go 00 Riser over Wing Zero?
Yeah. No, because the Wing Zero is not an upgrade.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
The Proto Wing Zero was a previous suit. I think the previous suit looked better than the upgrade. But and then after that, Gundam X, the X Gundam, and then the Double X, which just goes over the bar craziness, right? So, no. I think the Endless Waltz versions of the Wing kits are absolutely phenomenal. I think everything else is just kind of falls short sometimes.
The Toggies 2, you don't like the Toggies 2 or 3?
No, I like the 3 better than I like the 1 or the 2. Actually, I think the 2 is a downgrade to the 1. I think the 1 looked better, the 2 is okay, and the 3 is better. I think the Death Scythe Hell is a downgrade from the regular Death Scythe, and the Endless Waltz Death Scythe is the best one.
Toggies 2 is one of the most menacing looking Gundams from this.
I'm just making sure we're on the same page. I'm flipping through the book like
shoulders up.
We're talking about Toggies 2 here.
Yeah,
with the red,
if you go down a little bit, there we go.
Look at Toggies 3, but you think that Toggies 2 looks worse than the Toggies 1?
Yeah, I think the Toggies 1 with those double verniers and the fact that it's more simplistic actually helps it in the end. And the fact that that
fin
on the head, right? The fin on the head looks cool. I mean, if it's going supersonic, right? But I think the Roman Trojan thing would fit its aesthetic, but the 3 knocks all of them out the park.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it does.
The Tauruses are kind of boring.
I'm trying to think. What about you, CD? Is it their upgraded suits better than 00?
I'd go. It's top 3, probably.
Endless, yeah. Endless Waltz suits.
If we're saying Endless Waltz, I got Endless Waltz at 2. Seed Endless Waltz 00.
I gotta watch this seed so I can see these upgraded suits. Because if y'all think something is better than
I mean,
I don't know, man. The Wing Zero
you
and
gotta
MS1
think
is phenomenal.
the Calamity Gundam. Those 3 Gundams aren't even in the show very long. They're like a throwaway. Like, were they like 10 episodes maybe?
Maybe 10, maybe 10 at most. Yeah, they have
Like,
3 action scenes.
Yeah,
3 action
and
scenes.
like
And they are
they're
below.
willing, and those 3 kits in any other universe are gonna be like primary kits. That they're gonna give them a full season. For Seed to be able to throw you these 3 crazy kits, and then like just kill them off, wipe them away like they were never there. Like,
I mean,
that's
there's a
just
reason
3.
why.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I mean, there was a reason why they still making freedom statues, but they've never made an Exia statue.
Right.
The freedom design is just iconically damn good. Damn good.
I think, I definitely gonna have to check out Seeds a little bit more so I could understand where y'all coming from with these. I mean,
Prepare your wallets, dog. I'm telling you, when you get past like the first, get more into the story. I mean, people have they're gonna say what they're gonna say about Seed, but like just looking at kit for kit, like suit for suit, you're not gonna find a better show than Ensemble of Suits from Grunts. Than Seed.
Don't get me wrong, the Zaku Warrior and the Jin, all those look dope. And for those to be grunt suits, you're right. So I give you that.
But I'll tell you where Wing wins though in designs, character designs, hands down. Character designs, hands down, in my opinion, I think are the best in all of Gundam. There's never been people who just on a design, like aesthetic or silhouette level, I remember more than those wing boys. Those dudes were rock, especially Duo. Duo is probably my favorite out of all of them.
Design for Duo, yeah.
Barton's hair,
Preacher,
I'll never forget. Yeah, the Preacher aesthetic, Barton's hair, I'll never forget. Even Quattro and Wu Fei, like Wu Fei with his Chinese warrior aesthetic,
garb and stuff like that. Yeah,
it's hands down the best. Quattro's blonde hair, kind of almost femboy type of, not femboy, what's it called? Oh, feminine boy, right? Type of aesthetic look is instantly recognizable. I think all the females in it look. Relena, how could you ever confuse Relena with any other female in all of Gundam?
You're right. That's true too.
There's no other female that looks like her, right? Marina Rembrandt comes close, but like in terms of iconic look, but nah. I mean, Soletta is probably going to take it, but that's just because she's on the screen more. So,
right.
I mean,
and red hair and all that. Yeah,
red hair. Yeah. So I mean, like, dude, what you gonna do?
So this gets into our next discussion, where Austen kind of tipped his hat, right? Because he was going into a little bit in depth, and that's what we want to hear. We're going to go into Austen's real grade on Gundam Wing as a whole.
Damn, I kind of feel like I've already given it, didn't I? Guys, real great time. It's been a minute, but it was the first one for an actual show. So I rewatched all of Wing. Rewatched it, sat there, took notes. I had my lab coat on, had the glasses. I had my calculator going down, like, okay, 15 bullets, that. All right, Relena's still dumb. Okay, then notes like that. Then divide that by Hero's gun. Okay, all right, cool. Equal. Duo still badass. All right, so my watch through Gundam Wing was kind of in this half nostalgia trip, half don't meet your heroes type of situation. The storyline is a little bit convoluted. The action scenes are, especially in the first 5 episodes, are still fun as hell, still iconic, and still give you that sense of overall badassery. The animation of it is really reused. It's 90s animation. It's cell drawn. I think the best aesthetic of the animation actually exists outside the show. When you look at like wallpapers or magazine prints of the show, they all look way better in my opinion. And also this does need a CRT TV to get the best effect of what you're watching. I actually have an old CRT TV, a Gold Star, which used to be.
Explain to the people that might not know what CRT TV is.
So CRT. So this show was shot back in the 1990s when TVs were still shot in a 4:3 format. Today, all you young kids, still weird to say, are all probably watching us in 16:9, which is now the standard screen ratio, which is more of a widescreen format. The first show that shot in widescreen was Gundam 00. So when you watch this, you'll see like black bars on the side of the screen because it was shot in that ratio. If you put this on an old CRT TV, you actually see a better image than what you see on the 16:9. A 16:9 OLED screen or whatever you're using actually will kind of try and correct a lot of the color, and it wasn't really designed for that. I mean, the animation wasn't really meant for that. So watching this on an old CRTV actually looks, in my opinion, a bit better. And the animation still is, when it's not reused, is actually still pretty good in my opinion. I do like the color palettes. The music is absolutely phenomenal. I still don't think, I think only Seed and Unicorn have better theme songs. No, not better theme songs. I think Unicorn has a better orchestra. I think
walk it back now.
Yeah, I think Seed has a better orchestra, but in terms of theme song, Gundam Wing still blows them out the water for both season 1 and season 2. The character dialogue in the English dub is a little bit iffy. Let's be real. They were back in the 90s. They were trying their best, and if you watch the original Japanese, you realize that people were saying some things very differently. There were some very different lines being said. The U.S. kind of took some liberties.
It's close enough. We'll go with it.
It's close enough. You got the main gist of what you're looking for. And overall, with the main characters, especially the Gundam boys, there's somebody for everyone. I think that old used trope of it's pretty boys with problems is kind of a stupid analogy to use for this show. I think it's everybody in the show had a reason, had some type of cause, had some type of individual identity that brought them there. I think the weakest person out of all of them, though, was Hiro Yui, who's unfortunately your main character that you're with for most of the time. You have to read the manga. Once again, I'm not judging the manga. I'm just judging the show by itself. If you were coming into here just only with the DVDs, how would it stand up? And in terms of Mobile Suit Gundam as a franchise, I think Mobile Suit Gundam Wing is still pretty good. I have to admit. It's still very fun. The characters make no sense, but you learn in Gundam that's kind of a staple of the franchise.
You're looking for a promotion.
I
have a job opening for you.
It definitely has its gripes. It definitely has things it could work on. But I mean, guys, we're talking about a show from the 90s. I mean, Macross literally came out only 5 years or 10 years before it. Like Robotech was hitting store shelves 20 years before that or whatever. Macross unedited finally hit the States 5 years before that. We were asking a lot, especially in today when we have great animes left and right, great animation, story plots that don't get lost in the thread and sometimes still do. We're still looking at a pretty okay show. I was a little bit harsh on it coming into here. I've been harsh on it for the entire time, but the reason why is because
you were.
It is a legend, and I just want it to live up to it. I want it to be everything that I remember it to be. And unfortunately, some parts it just never does reach that level. The ending is kind of rushed, kind of patched up, kind of thrown in there. It doesn't really connect to the overall story, and Hiro throws out a weird ass line that makes no sense to his character. But hey, the Mobile Suit Gundam Wing, it's still pretty good. If I were to give it a grade from F to A, I might have to begrudgingly give it a
You left it there. You just stopped. That's it. You just said it. You just gave it as grade.
Give it a B minus.
Fair, which is fair.
You said B minus?
B minus.
I'll take it. I'll take a B minus.
Yeah, it. In my heart, I want to give it an A. In my soul, it deserves an A. But being realistic, it has.
I'll give it
could really work on.
Can we give it at least? Can we give it a B plus because of the movie? The movie's fantastic.
If we're doing Wing Endless Waltz by itself,
no, we're Gundam Wing and Gundam
as
Wing,
a whole venture.
Yeah,
everything in there. If you're throwing in Endless Waltz, we're getting a B plus, solid B plus.
Okay.
Oh, we might get an A minus.
I'll take that.
Endless Waltz has some of the greatest fight scenes, some of the greatest animation, some of the greatest redesigns, some of the greatest
number
music.
one Gundam movie.
But if you like Wing, then Endless Waltz is by all means what you deserved. I think for 52 episodes, it's what you deserve as a Wing fan for 52 straight episodes.
Pinnacle
is the pinnacle of what it could be, what it should have been, what it can reach when it applies itself.
Number one movie in Gundam.
In my heart,
I don't think it beats out Hathaway. Beats out Shark's counterattack.
You know what? I would. Narrative. Hathaway is pretty damn good, except for that last fight scene. That last fight scene and Gigi. Oh my god, Hathaway is fucking amazing. It's a double. It's 007 meets Gundam. Yeah. It's great.
That's fine. Right? And Gundam Wing is that's top tier, dog.
Endless Waltz was just
that's top tier. It'll get. I mean, that's top tier. It'll get no sweeter than that, Jack. This is going to be the fun one. That's Austen's real grade with Endless Waltz. He gives it maybe an A-, depending on what the teacher is that's grading it. Substitute teacher comes in, might give it a C. Regular teacher gives it an A-. So it makes sense. Rankings though. Let's rank it.
You guys,
where does it sit on the? It's obviously. Let's just make the conversation short. We're not even walking out of top 3, right? We're not even. So it's obviously on a Mount Rushmore of Gundams, right?
It can be
that 4th spot. Mm-hmm. Ooh, okay, we'll round it back. We're going top 5. It's definitely going to be top 4, but there's no point in even going to 9 or 10. It's not going to fall that short.
No. Right? 5 is where you get into some really bad territory.
Yeah. So we're talking story wise, with suits, with
the whole pie.
The whole pie, it has to be. I don't see how it doesn't. You could argue it could go 2 right behind the original one. But if you want to be, if you want,
I might have OG at 5. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, the animation of the OG, and I understand that you can't control back then. You can't control it. If OG comes out now with Origins, it'll be rough. Dude. It'll be crazy. Dude. But again, then I have to shift it and go, well, Gundam Wing, if it comes out, I can't see Gundam Wing in Origin style though. Gundam Wing cannot.
No.
Gundam Wing
Gundam Wing is cemented in that 90s style
aesthetic look.
In any other, I don't know.
The Nissan GTR 34 Skyline, the Nissan Silvia, the Toyota.
Talk to me nice.
All and Wing Zero, they live in the 90s. They are the 90s, and they have dominated
Super Nintendo.
It will never be able to leave it. But you know what? They are the kings of it. They've shown everybody how great we can be. How great a time it was to be alive, gentlemen. We got to live through it.
Yeah.
I don't really want it to leave the 90s.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't want it to.
I got Wing Origins.
Wing is number 1. Yeah. Wing Origins. Thunderbolt. First movie. Unicorn. No. It'll probably go Wing for me. Wing. 8th MS Team. Origins. Wing, 8th MS Team, Origins. What's that last spot on the Mount Rushmore? I'm gonna have to go Unicorn, and then War in the Pocket.
I got Unicorn, 8th MS Team, War in the Pocket, Seed, Wing.
Wing 1. I got C3.
You got Wing at 5.
Wing at 5. And you know what it was? I forgot about War in the Pocket because I considered it just a movie, not a show. But when you throw it in there, I was like, no, War in the Pocket's got to take it.
But dog, 5? You just said with you.
No. Remember, I just said if we take movies away, it's back in 4. It takes back 4 spots.
Well, it's movies, OVA. It's War in the Pocket's an OVA. So I'm not going like Stardust Memories of OVA. I think, isn't it? Yeah.
Stardust OVA? Stardust Memories and OVA? It was 13, 14 episodes?
I guess. Was it? It was.
We'll call it a series because.
War in the Pocket to me is you go watch. That's a series. Now, you just said 5. I was like, yo, let's not even do like 9 through, because from 5 back is trash.
Well, that's because I wasn't considering War in the Pocket. I thought we thought that as a movie.
But even if you do, you still got Wing at 5. You still got Wing as the number one.
It's an
honorable mention.
Yeah,
for top 5 worst, not top 5.
Wing is one on, just as a culture, just not even as an anime. Like Wing is one
for what it done,
because for everything it did.
And
Standalone,
what it does
as a Gundam, Wing's still my top 5, but it's probably not one.
Okay, we're still. I have it at number 1 for the show, not for what it's done. Because I think the suits are amazing. The upgraded suits are amazing. The characters are amazing. The best Char clone, the best Char suit. I'm not even talking about nostalgia. The aesthetic look on Endless Waltz when it's like upgraded hand drawn. It's like, man, when Hero punches Duo and you look at Heroes, I'm like, that looks crazy.
I can say this. Walking away from a series is usually kind of a determinator of how I feel about it. Walking away from Cyberpunk Edge Runners made me want more Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Right? Walking away from Wing made me happy it was over, but not like I was. Oh God, thank God I went through it.
Was it 50 episodes though? Was it because of 50?
Well, no, I watched 50 episodes. I watched El Recca 7, bro. Have you seen how many episodes in Eureka 7? And I fucking love Eureka 7. I'll go through that.
But are you wanting more of it?
Right? Oh, hell yeah. Eureka 7. I still want more. Matter of fact, I want it so much more that Bones keeps making more of it. And I'm pissed off that they're not actually making more of the original Eureka 7. Like they're making more spin-offs, which is BS stuff, right? But here's
some shit that happened in parallel universe.
Right? What are we doing? We're wasting our time. But here's the thing with Wing. Unicorn made me want it not to be over, right? Hathaway made me ready for the second one.
True.
Right? 8th MS Team made me not want it to be over, right?
Some stuff has endings though. Some you gotta appreciate it.
War in the Pocket had me bittersweet ending. Cyberpunk Edge Runners had a bittersweet ending, but I wanted more, right? War in the Pocket had a bittersweet ending, but I wanted more, right? There's a lot of series where I walk away from it, I want it more. And the more I think about Wing, when I walk away from it, I'm just like, I'm glad I revisited, but I don't need
it here
again. Yeah, I don't need it again. I experienced it once, and thank you. But I'm more appreciative that it existed than anything. Not that I need to go back to it.
Fair enough.
It stays at 5.
You know, if I'm not mistaken, I think you had Wish for Mercury at 5.
I did have Witch from Mercury at 5.
We'll get that. We'll get
Mercury,
that.
and it's not finished yet. So it's not finished. So it's about to go head to head with the boss. Is it better than Wing? Is it better than Wing? That's the good question. We gotta wait.
Knock Wing out of his top 5? No way.
It might knock Wing out of the top 5 if it lands that second season. Because I'll tell you right now, as far as season endings, it's doing pretty well. The Wing had the Rockefeller Foundation take over.
Flop.
What's up?
Season 2 flop. Season 2 flop.
I don't know. Everybody's hot take about Witch of Mercury just was not completely wrong right off the bat. Everyone said it was going to be good. One of the best Gundams of all time. Everyone
of course
said the kits were going to be on clearance, sell out every time. Everyone said it was
still new.
Characters weren't going to be able to stand up. Now there's literally memes of them everywhere.
5. I think I went to Hobbytown and saw like 5 aerials, high grade aerials sitting on the shelf.
All of them gone.
Hey, the fact that they're at Target, that's crazy. I feel like they're forcing it on you at this point. If they got them at Target,
well, I mean, dude, they forced build divers on us, and how many of those are still on clearance? A crap ton.
I just can't wait till
they can't even get rid of those things.
What was your hot take, CD? You was like, I had a hot take for the Wing special. You remember it? Come back to you.
Yeah, come back to me because I gotta think about it.
It
had something to do with Epion, so I couldn't remember what I was going to say about Epion.
Oh, the RG's not going to be that good, or Guy Gundam's going to be better.
I mean that's going back to it. That,
okay,
yeah, I think the RG is going to be good, but I don't think it'll be the best kit to ever grace the RG line.
Yeah, hey, state of Missouri, baby, show me state. You know what I'm saying? It look like you got to show you. You got to take it. You take the test before the lesson. All right, cool. That's the type of person you are.
It's a tall order to ask. I mean, that God Gundam is pretty damn up there.
Okay.
I don't even like the God Gundam. And
Same.
even I think it looks pretty good.
Okay. Again, y'all motherfuckers need to test before y'all take the lesson. So,
but my question to you, Coop, were you as hyped when the Wing Gundam got announced? Did you think that was going to be top 12? I mean, like greatest real grade ever?
No, because I think they oversaturated the Wing Gundam, and with built fighters, with different versions. I mean, it's not that far from not that far from the HG. What is it? I think the HG came out in 2017, 2016, something like that. So I think, and then you have the Wing Gundam EW version. Epion in itself, the dope kit. You only get one outside of the non-grade, which is the master grade. And for it to be 1/44 scale, and for it to be a real grade, and for it to be the newest of the real grades, it's going to be a tall task for a kit to come in and knock that shit off the pedestal as the mold kit. An iconic suit with updated technology. We're not. I would not be claiming kit of the decade if it was a high grade. If it came out in that after college line, I'm like, all right, it's going to be a dope kit, but it's not kit of the year. If it's since it's a real grade, then becomes kit of the year.
And you know, it's funny because I look at the Intergrade New Gundam as probably the best kit of last year.
Yeah.
Because wise, I don't know why, but it just looks better than in all assets. Look at this Archeon. Look at this stuff, and I just don't see anything different.
From what? From the map?
I agree.
I mean, there's a high grade is old.
Like, it's not even the competition.
Master grade is old. It's 2012, 10 years ago.
16. But that's old. I mean,
even if they drop a 2.0 Epion, I still
wouldn't be worth it.
I don't know. I want to go.
I want it to be good. That just means the next road is even crazier. But
the fact that this is a 1/44 scale figure and it's going to be the newest technology is what, in an iconic suit, is what is like a fucking perfect storm. What the hell else you want? Drug money, guns. What do you want, man?
I think it's going to be solid, but I don't think it's going to be
solid. Solid real grade. Solid real grade.
Mark II.
Mark
Not just Mark had a chest problem. Mine.
What is the best real grade right now? Is it the God?
The RG. The RG.
One of the RG news.
Yeah,
the high new. Yeah.
After that would be the God. After that would be Unicorn.
Sazabi, then God.
Sazabi. Oh yeah. No, you're right. Sazabi. Yep. 100%. Sazabi.
The unicorn isn't that great when it comes to holding pieces. That because of the transformation.
I think you're right, because the only problem where I'm taking that from is that all versions of the unicorn suck except for the real grade. The real grade's not that good either. So
just because this though, again, a perfect storm, man. A perfect storm. You have updated technology. What else? What other kit? Unless you say, think about it. We're not getting a whole lot. We get a whole lot of redesigns of 3.0 RX. So if they drop the RX right now, what? It's like, okay, see
another RX.
Yeah, it's just another. You're not saying that about
hot take. If we had a master grade coming out this year, I think it would eclipse the what are we talking about? The Epion.
No, not facts.
Yeah, if we had master grade,
because people love master grade.
Master grade in years. We haven't had a new master grade in years.
We've got to get the Zeta 2.0. You got to get the Vercon.
We have one. Yeah, not a new master grade, like not a new suit, like
right.
You know, like a if they made a master grade, what's that suit called from Witcher Mercury, Ghoul's
Ariel
or Delanza.
Like if they made a master grade Delanza out of nowhere, right, or master grade Farak out of nowhere, right?
No,
I think that would be like, oh snap. Or if they made a master grade, what's the suit from Seed that people still want that they never made, the Sword Calamity, that would take over.
I don't know. That's P Bandai. I guarantee.
That's P Bandai. Yeah,
but like
that would be P Bandai. That would be P Bandai.
CD, you said it.
Doms, yeah.
You said it. You just not that long ago. It was the #1 voted RG Like people voted
Right.
for this years ago. We need.
I voted for it
Epion.
too. I want the Epion to come because that just means there's other kits coming down the line that I might really want.
What I'm
I
saying,
voted.
if you put that hot take,
That's a slide diss.
yeah, for real. I was going like, I
no,
want
really.
it because
I like your sister because that just means that your
you're,
sister's gonna look better.
yeah, exactly. Get out of here, man. Keep that over there. See, man, like, let's see. Let's go Master Grade. Well, I can't. Let's see. Wing Gundam, Wing Zero, Verkav's Stellar Master fucking grade. What's the new Master grade? You say you don't want, so don't compare it to the Verkav Zeta that's coming out because we already got it. That's technically
You
a
can,
2.0.
but you can.
It's not going to beat out. Zeta's not going to beat out the Epion.
The Zeta's going to beat out the Epion.
No, it's not,
brother. It's going to outsell the Epion. Are we talking about outselling or just beating in terms of build and quality?
I don't even.
You got brother. Epion's famous in the U.S. You know the Zeta is famous everywhere, right?
Epion's famous everywhere. Epion's famous everywhere,
brother.
Is it Zeta? No, it's not Zeta. I mean,
the Zetas. There's
a reason why
named after it.
There's a reason why there's only a real grade and a master grade Epion.
Yeah,
there's a reason why there's 7 variants of the Wing Zero.
Yeah, I believe
variants of the Zeta.
And you're absolutely right. I know it sounds like I have my bias hat on, but it's not, right? Like, I'm just being real. It's a 1/44th scale real. I think real grades are doing better than master grades anyway, to be honest with you. The technology, and you don't think so?
I think that all the master grades are old. Master grades are old. RGs are all brand new.
I think they're putting their time and effort. That R&R department is putting their R&D department is putting their.
Yeah, they don't have time machines. They can't go back and fix all the.
Well, even with the master grades that's coming out, there's still. I feel like I think Bandai knows their number one bread and butter right now is real grade.
Okay,
high grade, real grade.
Okay, no. I bet they sell more because it's cheaper. But I think the better suits are the master grades, especially when that Zeta Verkav comes out, especially a transforming suit, and it nails everything. I think it's probably going to be the one that probably puts the nail in the coffin.
I think Epion sells more in the United States.
Oh yeah, it'll sell more in the United States. It'll sell pretty well in Japan.
It'll probably be top. It's going to be the number one.
You won't be able to find it in stores here. I guarantee you. Like
what, the Epion?
Yeah, you won't be able to find
the Zeta. I bet the
Zeta is going to sit.
The Zeta will sit because of the price. The Epion will roll out because it's cheaper. Like if you put the Epion at the same price as the Zeta, people
50,
will have a
50, 70?
No. Put the
it's going to be $20 more?
Yes, $20 matter. Brother, inflation has happened. $20 is the difference between me getting McDonald's or me eating out at Wendy's.
But for people who buy kits, I don't think $20 make it. I don't think $20 breaks.
Well, to me, obviously no. But
to a lot of people, I don't see a lot of people saying, "I want to put this real master grade I want down because I can't afford it, but get this real grade."
I see that happen all the time. I can't tell you how many times that happens in Hobby Town.
I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen to where people say I can't afford it and put everything down, or they'll settle for something extremely cheap, like a gym trainer. Yeah, sure. But I never seen. Well, I have this master grade I really want, but I'm just going to settle for this real grade that's $15 cheaper.
You know what? And you know what? We'll roll with that. You know what? I'll even meet you halfway. I think you're right. I think most people, when they say they can't afford it, they just put everything down or they get a high grade, right? That's like 90%. Right?
Sure.
5% are the people who look at that master grade and say, I really want this master grade, but I will settle, and the word is settle, for this real grade, right? And that other 5% are people who go in there and say, man, I really want this master grade, but you know what? The real grade looks pretty good too. No, 4%. And then that 1% goes in there and says, I want this real grade. And they walk out.
You think people, when the God Gundam hit the stores, people were really flocking over the Dom?
No. When the God Gundam hit the stores, everyone went and got the God Gundam, right? But when it gets restocked and there's a new master grade out, like the Zeta, we'll see what happens.
Oh, yeah, because you already got it.
Yeah.
But I think if they both hit the shelves,
You people haven't bought it yet. Just come in the store and be like,
I think if it both hit the shelves on the same day, Epion is flying off the shelf.
If you and I give $100 to random people in Hobbytown, we'll see what they buy and walk out with. Do they walk out with the master? Or do they walk with the root?
I think
at your Hobbytown.
I think
ask your guys, since you guys have real builders. I have no one to ask.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the chat.
Same day, you pick.
Yeah, we show up. We show up their day. We'll bring $400 each of us, right? Play money, not real money. Play money, and we'll give it to somebody and say, "Go out and pick what you want."
This ain't nothing but a word.
Why don't we put this on IG?
IG? Want to throw it out there?
Yeah,
I got you. Pull it on a poll.
If
they both day, sure. What are you walking away with? The Zeta, Verka, or the RG Epion? What do you think people are going to say? Austen, you know it. You look at the smirk on your fucking
I'm gonna say it's gonna be the Epion just because I know a lot of Wing fans out there.
I think that everyone's gonna be like, it's the Epion, it's the Epion. And I think when you do that poll, the Zeta's gonna take it by a hair of a margin. Only because it's a master grade. If I'm getting free money to buy something, why would I buy something cheaper? Unless I want that thing.
Okay.
You gotta put one, two, or neither, because some people might not like these.
Yeah.
Shits.
Oh yeah, true. Some people like the other. Like, I really want that Dom.
We'll agree to disagree on this. We'll definitely come back and do the poll and give you the answer. Yep. Now, where does it stand? I know it's kind of a ranking, but where does Gundam Wing stand in the Gundam? Is it right behind RX? Is it right behind original? Not in the personal rankings, but in the Gundam world.
In fandom?
In fandom, Gundam Wing is behind the original.
Up there. It's probably in the 4 spot, 3 spot. Yeah.
You just doing this out of spite now.
I'm not.
4 spot or 3 spot. Okay.
The original Gundam started it all, so we can't take number 1.
Okay. So we're fighting for second place.
Unicorn revived it in the 21st century to bring Gundam back to the forefront, right? How many unicorns have they made and sold, right? And Wing stands as the gateway that opened it up to the West.
That right there alone should make it 2.
Because
that right there alone, because Unicorn would not be over here.
In the terms of anime, like, are we talking about just Gundam or anime? Because if it's Gundam. Just anime, Wings wasn't the only thing that did it. It was a cornucopia of shows, right?
If it's just anime, I don't know if Wings even 10.
Yeah, like we're talking about Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh.
We're talking about Gundam,
Naruto.
We're talking about Gundam.
We're talking about Transformers. We're not talking about Transformers.
You want to talk about Macross? He was trying to throw that in at 6. He was like, "Yo, Macross, Robotech, right?
Robotech." He put both them Johns in there.
Hell no. But
I got Wing 2.
Wing 2
behind the OG.
It has to be, because without Wing, without Unicorn.
You know what? I'll meet you. I'll say 2.
And I don't even give. I might move Unicorn down to 4. I think Hathaway might move up to 3.
Oh my God, no! Reverse that.
You think I think the fact that it's a movie on Netflix and a lot of people could see it and not really understand the lore behind, like, there's no real crazy psycho frame and all, like, it could bring.
There's no culture for Hathaway. It's movies. There's a culture for Unicorn. There's statues.
What about IBO though?
IBO's not even there, bro. It's not.
It's not. You don't think it brings...
No, it exists purely as a good anime, not as
Coop.
A good
I didn't hear IBO come out when you had your 5.
Yeah, I didn't hear IBO. I haven't even heard you talk about IBO except once.
It's not in the top 5. It's not in the top 5.
But what were we saying about top 5? 6.
That's what Austen said about top 5. That's Austen's take.
IBO deserves that, but I mean, we're going on.
IBO is 6, 7.
IBO is looking in.
Yeah, it's on a bubble. It's on the bubble.
Brad, it's on the bubble.
And it's on the bubble.
IBO's
Thunderbolts and IBO is on the bubble.
Oh, excuse me, Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts in there, bro.
It can't be in there if the second movie, if I'm going off of
the second movie with the banded flower,
going against with the totality of everything, it's on the bubble.
Okay,
the first one keeps it on the bubble.
Okay,
if there was no first one, we're not even talking about it though.
Yep, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
IBO is good, but
I'm glad this is not an IBO day. I would just be kicked off the show.
Well, believe me, it's good, but I'm not.
No, it's trash.
Like I said, IBO works better as like.
I literally no. I'm just joking. I'm joking. I said that literally just to piss off Coop. IBO's fine. IBO's fine.
Comment down below,
like
people.
IBO is a mob movie.
Yeah,
IBO works as an anime, not as a Gundam movie. Anime.
I can see that.
It works just as a good anime.
It's a great anime. Comment down below, people. Where does Gundam stand for y'all? Where do y'all think it falls in the Gundam realm? Is it unanimous? Is it a unanimous thing? Is it as unanimous as Gundam original being number one? Just because it's number one does not mean that it can't be taken away. Just like Austen said, Austen, number one, it started it all. Jerry West came before Michael Jordan. He's the logo. He's the logo. And unanimously, people don't even have Jerry West towards the top.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure Nike is the actual logo on the shoe.
No, I'm talking about the NBA logo is Jerry West.
Oh, it is. Oh,
it is the logo.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I thought you meant shoes. My bad.
Jordan is bigger than Jerry West.
Oh, heck yeah.
Jerry West is the NBA fucking logo.
Oh, yeah. Oh, heck yeah.
So where Jordan stands in NBA history is number one, even though he came after the logo. Mm-hmm. So Gundam Wing
is it Kobe
or
is it
Bird had more championships. A lot of people have more championships than Jordan.
Now, to take that question, CD, it's most influential, right? Curry's second most influential NBA player of all time.
Curry?
Behind Jordan. Yes, behind Jordan. And that's how I look at it for...
I'll let you guys have that one. I don't watch NBA.
Best.
The best? Number one?
Best player behind... Yeah, best player.
The best player or the most influential?
Best player.
Best player behind Jordan is LeBron. The fucking freight train. Now, again, being most influential is different from,
best. Yeah,
the best. Curry, there's no. These little kids going to these basketball gyms and shooting threes because of Curry. The 2-point is now irrelevant.
I'd go Curry then AI.
Jordan, Curry, AI.
And that's like Wing. It's highly influential, but it's definitely not the best.
That's what I'm saying. Well, for me, it's the best. But like, it could be.
That's what I'm saying, but not really.
It could be the number one. It could be the number one in RX in the original. Be number two. Could be number one. How impactful it was. You don't think Gundam Wing might have saved Gundam?
No, because without Gundam Wing wouldn't exist.
Correct. That's true. You're right. Because the original, but that does not mean that since it's the original, it automatically takes the first spot. I
think it does.
Then that means if you look at it from anything else,
like Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back is a better movie than the original Star Wars. That everybody knows that. But without Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back is the second.
Number 5, the second one.
Yeah, episode 5. Yeah.
Now, but when you go back like this, the original person who threw a football is not better than Peyton Manning. Even on the sole grounds of he was the first one to throw a football, does not make him better than Tom Brady.
Let me put it this way. The person who made the rules to open the forward pass, who was President Teddy Roosevelt, is more influential than Peyton Manning will ever be.
Because he's changed
the game.
Okay.
And he allowed Peyton Manning to exist.
Exactly. He changed the game.
Mm-hmm. How many people know Teddy Roosevelt's a president? How many people know Peyton Manning's a football player? If you can go to people, and you know this, and as well as I do, there are only so many.
Some people will vote for Peyton Manning for governor of Tennessee if they could.
No sports fans, but I mean, if we run out presidents, people know Teddy Roosevelt. He's literally on Mount Rushmore.
I feel you again. But just because you're the original does not mean you automatically get the number one slot. It doesn't.
It doesn't always. No, of course not. That's why I said The Empire Strikes Back is a better film than the original Star Wars. But in this instance, because we're not talking about everything in life, we're just talking about this Gundam show or Gundam in series. Gundam, the original Gundam is, in my opinion, a far better show than Wing.
Better?
It is a far better show than Wing.
79.
Alone, the scene with Amuro and his mother, and him leaving his mother when she's in the refugee camp, going off to war, and accepting his path from there on, is a better episode than almost any episode in Wing.
That was a good episode.
There's emotion, there's depth, there's song is amazing, and there's consequences, and the story plot is. And I just gave you one example of an episode. You want 30 other ones that are better than Wing? We can go through that all day, baby.
Yeah, the original Doan's Island.
Yeah, the original Doan's Island is a joke, and look at the movie, better than Wing. They took a joke and made it better. So I mean, like, what? I don't know what more we can say about it, but I mean, Wing it's up there.
It's up there. It could arguably could fight for number one.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah. He's taking it going 2, which is crazy. But
how is that crazy? That's a pretty damn good score. You will still applaud your kid if she comes in second place.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. But I could argue that she could have came in first. I'm not going to say I'm not gonna go. Yeah, you came in second. So
can you imagine on the ride home? Can we get McDonald's? Yeah, but you don't get chicken nuggets.
Right.
Exactly.
Why not? Chicken nuggets are for winners.
So, well, that is that, folks. This was fun, man. It was fun. We're going to do this for a lot more other series. I know last time we did it for Origins, we kind of like broke down
each movie,
episode by episode.
Episode by episode. Well, we'll get more in depth with series, maybe the top ones like Unicorn, like an 8th MS team, and we'll still break down the series.
Stick with the short ones for now.
Exactly. But as a Gundam Wing stan, I appreciate it. I love it. Everybody enjoy Gundam Wing Day. Go turn on a promo. Go forth, YouTube.
Gundam.
Yeah, go forth, Gundam team. Go and turn on and little side thing about me real quick before we leave. I still every day anytime I watch Gundam, I always think that mid theme, the shit in the middle of the episode, letting you know it's halfway through, is going to be somebody other than Relina. It's always Relina. It's Shuffle.
Right.
It's always Relina. I'm like, come on, this is the day we good duo. This is
because in other animes too, they always put like a new person or a different person. Yeah, like, you're right. Yeah.
Yo, this has to be duo this time. Nope, Relina. Damn it. Next one's duo. The next one's gotta be duo. And as a kid, I always just thought, okay, because Rocco's the first time I seen it. Rocco's Modern Life, where they give you the name of the episode, and then the next scene it will show you who wrote the episode, but it will have like Heifer at the bottom. Then it will show, okay, this episode is about Heifer. It's not about Rocco. So every time I see that Relina pop up, I'm thinking, okay, cool. This episode is about Relina. Nothing about Relina.
No.
The next, not even an episode. But y'all go enjoy some Gundam Wing. Go watch Endless Waltz. Go watch the promos that are done by Peter Cullen, a voice of Optimus Prime on Toonami. Go watch those promos. Go grab you a Gundam Wing shirt. Go get you some Gundam Wing socks. Go get you a Gundam Wing kit, for Christ's sakes. Do yourself a favor. Get that Wing Zero. I'm waiting. I'm biting at the bit for CD to say he don't want that shit no more. I see it sitting there.
You know I have one too.
Yeah, I know.
Everyone's gonna get rid of one. It's probably gonna be me.
Well, as soon as one of y'all do, but I know what CD has over there for it. And
oh yeah, that's right.
We'll talk about it. I'm itching at the bit. Hey. Top 5 master grade of all time. Yeah. But
okay.
Igor Dollar. Right, like I feel like Max Kellerman. They're like, right. It's the top 5. It's the top 5 master grade of all time. Is that Wing Zero Verka? Yeah, no, man, it's been fun. I'm sorry. I could reel off a lot more. I think Gundam Wing is probably one of the top 5 high grades of all time. Has probably a top 5 real grade of all time now. Top 5 master grade of all time now. Only thing it doesn't hold is that perfect grade spot. Top 5 perfect grade doesn't get in there. There's probably a kit in every category that is top 5 in. Top 5 high grade of all time.
Is he doing this?
Fuck no.
I don't know what to say. What is he? He's joking, right?
I mean, you know, I'm trying to think.
Right? This is a joke.
Shenlong is dope. I haven't built it. You built it. Is it a dope high grade?
Shenlong's better than that. Shenlong is 1,000 times better than any high grade after the wing kit is better than the wing kit. Than the wing high grade.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a Gundam wing kit is going to be top 5.
He's talking about the wing series that has at least one top 5 in every category. That the wing series is
outside
not the wing Gundam.
Grade.
I thought he meant the wing Gundam Zero or the Proto Zero was like literally top
same.
Yeah, no. He means that the series, all the series. I mean, RG. That's maybe hard to. Gonna be hard.
Epion already got it.
No, the Epion's not out yet.
It doesn't even matter.
It's not out yet. The Epion's not out yet.
It's not out yet. Unless they say we're taking it off of production.
It's not out yet.
I already got told. I knew the answers on the test before I got it. So
and high grade, heck no, hell no. The Origin line owns high grade right now.
Correct. Not the Origin line.
Origin has top 10. All of them are Origins. But there's not a single one that's not.
That's the thing. The Origin has the same frame. So, in my mind, the Origins are all going to be one of itself. It's just
in your mind, if you make up things, yes, you can believe in them. But I mean,
the unicorn series of kits is better.
Yeah. The Origin owns high grade right now. RG is Universal Century owns it.
Again, I said top 5. I said top 5.
I mean, even top 5, high grade.
What I'm saying is, there is. You could say Shenlong could be a top 5 high grade. Epion is going to be a top 5 real grade. Master grade. Wing Zero Verka is the top 5 master grade.
Bro. Arc 78 Origins, Zaku 2 Origins, Zaku 1 Origins, Bugu Origins, Dome Test Type Origins.
But those are all the same. Those are all the same.
They're not. They're different. They're different suits.
The frame and aesthetics. Origins line is yes.
Unicorn line of kits.
Unicorn line of kits are the fact that it's
pretty good. The result's pretty damn good.
Okay, the unicorn line of kits is
just the
Delta Plus.
Okay,
the Sinanju.
Okay, all right. So we have unicorn line of kits. Okay,
Universal Century.
What beats out?
That's the line itself, I guess. The Revive at the Universal Century.
Trash.
Right. The Revives at the Universal Century. The Revives are
Revives.
Ground type. So the ground type. That's a Revive.
That's all right.
Revive. The Gun Cannon Revive.
That's okay.
The Zaku 2 Revive.
Trash.
Would
you rather have the Zaku 2 Origin or the Zaku 2 Revive?
They're both good. Are you asking whether I should have a Ferrari or a newer Ferrari? I would like both. I don't mind.
Y'all see the cue card. This is going to be for another time. You looking around. Don't look around anymore.
I'm looking at Seed.
I'm looking at Zip Recruiter because I'm pretty sure I can put resume. I can request resumes. Open
the only line I think that Wing beats in the high grade line is the IBO line.
And Witch for Mercury.
And Witch for Mercury, there's not a lot out, but sure, why not?
What?
I'm not even gonna fight.
Witch for Mercury already has more high grade kits than Gundam Wing kits.
They are actually better than most of the Wing kits, but that's because they're newer. Remember that argument that the newer kits are always no.
Remember who started it first?
I was just saying.
Well, until next time, people, I'm Coop. And with these other guys, they are shown they're not going to be here for long, so don't worry about it.
ACD, we'll start our own podcast.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, we got CD and we got
Undergated.
the original cut.
Right.
Make sure y'all follow these guys and go enjoy Gundam Wing Day. We appreciate everybody who tuned in. Undergated, never underrated. Until next time. Peace.